was $14,000, which is insane. But it's because I was looking externally for ways to fix myself because I felt there was something wrong with me because I wasn't successful. And it's part of it is due to the brainwashing of being in an MLM and buying courses to help me manifest in order to get out of debt when they're the reason why I'm in debt. It really wasn't working. My name is Caitlin. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I have been in multiple multi-level marketing companies from the day I turned 18 up until 2022, and I want to share what has happened since leaving an MLM. Basically, like my healing journey, what has led me to where I am today, where I'm able to talk about it and share my experiences because it's been a long journey, and I just want to educate people and just share my experience of overcoming that essentially brainwashing of like, oh, there's something wrong with you. You need to do more personal development and you need to invest in yourself and all those things. We're going to talk about it today. So where does this story even begin? So before we get into the story, I just want to say that I joined Lavelle in July of 2020 because I wanted the monetary success that it appeared would be achievable. Like I was like, oh, I can just easily match my job's income and I can leave and then I can double it and then I'll have the financial and time freedom that these MLMs promote, which is absolutely unachievable. But I thought that having an online business, whether being in an MLM or just having an online business, was going to be my ticket to this successful lifestyle that you see on Instagram, on social media, of people living their best lives on vacations with all the time freedom and financial freedom. Like that is what I was after, and that is why the story is what it is. There's a lot to this story, so I'm going to start with EFT tapping, and you might wonder how that's relevant. I promise it's very relevant. So in 2020, like a month or two before I joined Lavelle, I found Brad Yates on YouTube. He does a thing called EFT, also known as tapping. It's emotional freedom technique. It's super cool. You use your hands and you tap on your face and body while working through your emotions. So I'm very glad that I found him because as someone who had experienced severe childhood trauma, I was looking for ways to help me heal from that. And so I found him. That was amazing. And then I joined Lavelle. And in Lavelle, you were encouraged to share your story and talk about your life and share every detail of your life. And I started talking about tapping, just trying to be relatable or just add value, share value, whatever. I shared like, oh, I've been doing tapping with Brad, blah, blah, blah. And you're also encouraged to grow your network. So you want to follow random people on Facebook and on Instagram and like their stuff and try to build relationships and have them follow you back. And this random girl, after I was talking about Brad on Instagram or Facebook, I don't know, but she commented and was like, hey, have you heard of Gala Darling? And I'm like, who is this person? So I look up Gala Darling and instantly I'm like, oh my gosh, she is so cool. Like, I want to be like her. I want to be successful. She does tapping. That is so amazing. So I'm in Lavelle and I'm already spending more money than I'm making because at the end of it, like I lost $3,000 when I left. So I'm like spending money on my products, and now I found Gala and I begin to start buying her offerings and her courses. So I was just spending a lot of money and I was investing in myself and doing personal development and working on my mindset and doing all the things they tell you to do. And so because I also believed already that there was something wrong with me. Like growing up, I had really low self-esteem. I didn't like myself very much. I was like, there's something wrong with me. I just want to be successful. I just want it to be easy. There is something wrong with me. Like I suck. I'm stupid. Like all these beliefs that are not helpful when you want to be successful. And so being in an MLM and being like, okay, I have these goals that I want to reach, which are practically impossible to reach. But when you don't hit your goals, it's like, oh, we'll go do more personal development. That's what your upline would tell you to do. Like, oh, have you done enough of personal development? Have you worked on yourself enough? Have you been doing all of the business tasks, all the things? So it's like, okay, I have these crappy beliefs about myself. And this MLM is reinforcing this, like, oh, I didn't hit my goal because I need to do more personal development. And then I'm buying online courses to try to help me fix myself. It's like, oh, there's something wrong with me. Let me spend my money on Gala stuff to help me fix myself. And so in 2021, I still was like heavily working the business throughout the entire year and also buying everything Gala had to offer because I was like, I want to be successful. I want to be like her. I want her life. And it's like, oh, well, I'm going to give her my money so I can learn how to be like her. And maybe she'll help me fix myself. And I don't regret buying all the things that I bought, but it became problematic. So come the end of 2021, it was November, and I'd already bought literally everything Gala had to offer up until that point. And she launched her Gala Darling Method EFT tapping certification. And I was like, holy shit, I need to do this. But it was $4,444. I didn't have that money. And I also had $2,000 of credit card debt already because I was putting these courses and my MLM products, my Thrive Lavelle products, on a credit card. So I had $2,000 of credit card debt, and now I want to buy this $4,444 course. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? Because I want it. Like, I was like, I have to do this. I want to do it. I need to do it right now. And so I decided to get a personal loan and consolidate my credit card debt and the cost of the course. So I got a loan for $6,500. And then I had zero credit card debt. But then I continued to buy more online courses, and then I started putting money on this credit card. Come January of 2022, I finally decided I had had enough. I had had enough of being a promoter with Lavelle, trying to promote their products. It wasn't working, it wasn't growing, no matter how much personal development I did, because the problem with multi-level marketing companies is the business model. So it doesn't matter what company you're in, like unless you are super great at recruiting, you're not going to see that success. And I was not very great at recruiting. So it was January of 2022 that I decided to stop working the business. So then the Gala Darling Method started in February, so I went through all of that. And then once that was over, which actually I'm very grateful for that experience, I just want to put that out there, because it was like a 12-week course, and then she surprised us with like a trip to Vegas, all inclusive at the end of it for graduation, and it was really amazing actually. But I couldn't afford it. I was investing in myself so much, but I couldn't afford all of these things. Even though I'm grateful for them, it's like, oh, now I have this debt. And so after the Gala Darling Method, or even during it, it was March of 2022, that I decided to start an LLC. So I started a business called Tap Into Magic, and I thought I was going to make online courses about tapping and have people like work on whatever. And I also started a YouTube channel then, and it's called Tap Into Magic. I still have that channel today and I still post on it. And I do tapping videos. If you're curious about tapping, I recommend checking it out. So I started that YouTube channel, which I'm grateful for because I've posted over 130 videos, and that has given me the confidence and just the practice to make YouTube videos to where it's like, okay, cool, now I can venture over here and make anti-MLM content. So anyways, started my YouTube channel March of 2022, started a business. I attempted to make online courses, and I bought more online courses. I was like, oh, let me buy Online Course Academy, $3,000. Let me buy Money Mentality Makeover, $3,000. And I'd buy smaller courses too, but it was like so much money that I was pouring into trying to be successful with my now business. That was now mine, but I wasn't seeing that success. I did make an online course. I think I made 2 online courses. The first one, I panicked and deleted it and posted it on YouTube. And that was like my Healing Acne series, which actually did somewhat well on that channel. And then I made a confidence tapping, where it had like several different tapping videos to help you build your confidence. And my mom was the only person that bought that course. And I was paying for Kajabi, like paying all of the things to help me make these online courses. And my mom was my only customer. Thanks, Mom. But it was like, oh, I'm not seeing this success. There's something wrong with me. Still that belief of like, oh, there's something wrong with me. It's really frustrating thinking about it now. But I just continued to work on promoting myself on Instagram and on YouTube and trying to get the word out about tapping because that's what I wanted to do at the time. And I had this business. I wasn't making online courses like I thought I was. I made $0. And then at the beginning of 2023, I decided I was going to start seeing one-on-one clients over Zoom. I promoted myself a little bit, but no one wanted to work with me. And I didn't really talk about it enough either. Still perpetuating this belief of like, oh, what's wrong with me? Why am I not successful? Everyone else makes it look so easy. Why am I not successful? So then in March of 2023, I decided to invest in Manifestation Babe Academy by Catherine Zendikina. And that was also $3,000. It was like $3,500. I had already been feeling really bad about my credit card debt that I then had because my boyfriend didn't know that I had all this credit card debt. He knew that I had gotten the loan, consolidated the debt that I had and put it with this loan. He thought I had 0 credit card debt, so it's like, cool, I have this loan. And then I owed less than $2,000 on my car. And as far as he knew, that was the only debt that I had. So I started to feel really bad about it. It started to weigh on me. And it's because I had one credit card with a $5,000 limit. I'd put $4,500 on it. And then I opened a second credit card in like October of 2022 because I didn't want it to affect my credit. I was like, okay, I'll open up this second card and not use it. So then my overall credit card usage won't be so high and it won't affect my credit. And I didn't keep that promise to myself. I'm like, oh, look, it's Christmas. Let me use this credit card because I don't have any money because I'm putting all my money towards paying off this card, so trying to, and then I'm like, oh, well, let me just put money on this card. So then I bought Manifestation Babe Academy, and it was like, I had high credit card usage on both cards. And at this point, I'm like, this is not okay. I have to do something. And buying courses to help me manifest in order to get out of debt, when they're the reason why I'm in debt, it really wasn't working. And so, throughout Manifestation Babe Academy, I finally came to the conclusion. I was like, okay, I have to do something. So I got a third credit card and decided to begin the process of consolidating these 2 credit cards amounts onto this third card. And I was not going to use that card whatsoever. I was treating it as a loan. That's it. And so I started that process. And then I finally told Dylan, I'm like, hey, by the way, you know how I had 0 credit card debt at the beginning of 2022? Well, and so the total amount of debt that I had from my credit cards, this loan, and my car was $14,000, which is insane. But it's because I was looking externally for ways to fix myself because I felt there was something wrong with me because I wasn't successful. And it's part of it is due to the brainwashing of being in an MLM. Our conversation, it actually went really well, even if I sobbed the entire time. But he's like, okay, how much debt do you have? Okay, well, I believe in you. You're gonna get your shit together. No more buying online courses and don't hide shit from me no more. I'm like, okay, deal, you got it. So I made a commitment to not buy any more online courses in 2023. And so I worked really hard, like putting all of my money towards like paying down. I had like $9,000 of that $14,000 was credit card debt. I basically just put all of my money towards paying that down. Even when Gala launched, she launched something in September of 2023, and I was so upset that I wasn't gonna buy it. And I didn't buy it. I was like, I don't know, like this FOMO of like, I still wanted to be like her. And so I still wanted to buy all of her stuff. And I just was like, I cannot do that. So I literally talked to my therapist. I had a whole session about Gala Darling because it deeply impacted me. I feel like just from, being in an MLM, being like, oh, there's something wrong with you. You need to do personal development. And then finding Gala and it's like, oh, she can save me. But it's like, no, bitch, you have to save you. I think I did buy like a $99 workshop from Gala in December, and then I bought something else in January, but it was like $200, and then I was like, hey, no more. I ended up I finished paying off that credit card at the end of April of 2024, like 2 weeks ago. And it's because I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm done buying things that are not in alignment with my goals, and my goal was to be debt-free. So it's like, I can't keep investing in myself in this way because it's not helping me. So since July of 2023, I have been deprogramming the need to do personal development, the need to buy online courses, the need to be successful. Because what even is success? And I did start going to college in October of 2023 also, and I was paying for that. And then I had to pause school, and I'm switching schools, so I don't start again until July of this year. But when I start school in July, I will be debt-free. Because right now, I only owe $1,500 on my loan. To get to this point where it's like, I'm really close to my goal of being debt-free, that is success. Like, hitting that goal and everything that's led up to that, that is financial success. And the only way I have been able to pay off nearly $14,000 of debt in a year is because of my job. The job that MLMs love to demonize, where it's like, oh, you work a full-time job? Why don't you, a full-time job that pays you really well? So that's another thing where it's like, multi-level marketing companies demonize jobs, but a job, you're at least guaranteed minimum wage, and you get paid for the hours that you work, for the time that you put in. Versus an MLM, you only get paid if you make a sale, you recruit someone, or anyone in your downline organization makes a sale or recruits someone. So you don't get paid for posting to social media. You get paid when you make a sale, and that's it. In an MLM, you are a 1099 contractor, and you're not guaranteed pay, no matter how hard you work. So unless you make a sale or recruit someone, like, you don't get paid. But at a job where they pay you, let's say $20 an hour, you work 10 hours, $200. Guaranteed. Like, they're legally obligated to pay you. It's wild to think that my current job, I work for the government, I started in 2018, and then I was still in Advocare then until 2019, and then I joined Lavelle essentially a year later. My job isn't super fulfilling, and I feel like being in an MLM, it's like, oh, well, if you hate your job, just do this full time. My job has how I've been able to become a homeowner and go on some trips. Like, I've been to Vegas a million times, not really a million, but lots of times. And it's because I have a job. But MLMs demonize your job. So I've had to do a lot of healing and deprogramming to be okay with, even though my job doesn't fulfill my soul, it pays my bills and then some. So it's like, cool, I will have paid off $14,000 of debt in 1 year come July because of my job. Because I stopped buying online courses. Because I stopped believing I needed something externally to fix me. And I've been going to therapy. That has been super helpful. I've continued on tapping because I do love tapping. I think it is so helpful. Everyone should look into it. But if you've left an MLM, tapping on like that guilt and shame of like, oh, even though I've been scammed and I fell for this business opportunity, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And I forgive myself, and I let all this shame go because it's not helping me, Honestly, I'm excited for the future. And it's taken me 2 years to get to this point of like, cool, I finally feel almost free of the programming of like, oh, there's something wrong with me. Which it didn't start in an MLM. I know that. It started in my childhood, but the MLM just fed into it. Where it's like, oh, you're not successful because you need to do personal development. I want to say thank you for being here and listening to the story. I know that like it wasn't entirely purely about being in an MLM, but just the side effects of after I've left and what I've kind of been through since then because of the programming from the MLM. It's been a lot. And it's taken me 2 years to even start to talk about it. And I found anti-MLM content, I don't know, springtime of 2022. And just hearing other people's stories was so helpful. And that's how I was able, after I left, I didn't close my account yet. So then I went and added up. How much money did I make? How much money did I spend? And that was very eye-opening. And just hearing everyone's stories since then, it's like, wow, that's insane. But like, you don't really hear very often what happens after you leave an MLM. And the deprogramming and the challenges to finally become your normal self again. So I'm feeling like my normal self again, and I'm grateful to be here chatting with you today. So anyways, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to my story. If you have any experiences being in an MLM or leaving an MLM, you can leave a comment down below or send me an email. And I want to start to make MLM horror story videos. I just need to gather up some stories. So you can email me, and I'll leave my email right here and in the description box below. And I'm so grateful for you. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Okay, bye.